Okay, so we can start the session now. Hello everyone, my name is Gaurav and I'm the part of Jigsaw Academy. Currently I'm heading corporate business in Jigsaw Academy. I work with customers to understand their requirement and design the learning plan. So we have, we work with multiple corporates such as Google, Microsoft, Flipkart, to upskill their employees. This session is about understanding how to beat mid-career blues with analytics upskilling. So I'll be talking about three aspects as a part of this session. We'll try to understand what's analytics and who are data scientists. The second point we'll talk about, I hope everyone can hear me. If it is yes, you can type it in the chat box. Okay. And we'll also be talking about executive education, long-term analytics certification programs, and then we'll be touching on the our executive program with STA Bocconi based out of Italy, Milan. It is jointly collaborated with Jigsaw Academy. So let me start. The most fascinating point about analytics, that what medias and journals are talking about analytics. So if you have heard of this article or you read this article from Times of India, that there was an article which talks about a data scientist earning more than chartered accountants and engineers. Bloomberg did mention about this starting salaries for data scientists are north of $200,000. And this, again, the Glassdoor has done a survey to figure out best 25 jobs, as in the field of data scientist, right? And also McKinsey has done a research to, to come up with this insight that demand for data scientists may be as much as 60% greater than the supply. So of course, we definitely see a huge demand-supply mismatch. And I keep encountering this situation when I work with the corporates to understand that should we hire new people or should we train our existing resources. So that's one hustle, which is going on in a lot of corporates, and they're still trying to figure out the problem. We have, provided some recommendations based on the, the current situation and the requirements. What do they have? LinkedIn, did mention about data science and data mining skills are among the top 2 job openings in most part of the world. So undoubtedly, we know that data scientist is going to be the next world. If you are dealing with data, if you are working in any sort of domain or functions, application of data science, integrated with business is going to play the most important role to drive the business, right? And also HBR did come with this, quote that it's the sexiest job of the 21st century. So this is what different articles and journals are talking about analytics. Let's try to understand who is a data scientist. So I'm assuming that a lot of people who have joined this have quite an amount of experience in their roles, and you must have heard of this term data science or data scientist, right? So I would like to understand from your aspect that when you hear this term data scientist, what do you think they do, and what kind of roles are generally built by data scientists? Can anyone help me to answer this question? So we have around close to 42 participants in the session. Okay, let's make it simple. When we talk about analytics, when we talk about using data to generate insights, what are the what are the roles and responsibilities you can think of from that particular role? Okay, let me see if I am seeing any responses. Yes, bringing data to data insight, take business decisions. They are responsible for end-to-end delivery of data science projects, collecting the data, analyzing it, presenting it. So Anand is saying collecting and analyzing it. Vikas is saying they also need to interact with various stakeholders of the project. Anand is again saying making decisions based on the basis of data. Paras is saying analyzing the data using different techniques based on statistics, probability, and machine learning algorithms to develop business insights. Yeah, this is one of the textbook definitions, right, Paras? But yeah, if you broadly, all of you are hitting the right angle. But if I have to define it in simpler terms, data scientist is a combination of both art and science, right? Art obviously comes from the domain experience, whatever you have acquired in your last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of your job. And science is using statistical and machine learning algorithms to derive business insights or meaningful insights out of the data and apply actions on that particular insights, right? So we will talk about actionable insights. So data can give you, a number of insights, but all of them are not actionable. So using different tools in analytics, you can also try to understand what are the actionable plans out of these insights. So broadly, if I have to say it in a simple language, a data scientist without domain experience is useless for a company, because you need to imply business skills. You need to understand the data dictionary, the variables, the kind of matrices and KPIs what you're dealing with. Then only data will help you to answer some of your questions, right? The other aspect is, what do they do, right? So I did mention about they help businesses to grow, they help businesses to generate actionable insights. But broadly, they are they are the set of people who are able to talk to data, right? And some point down the line, experienced data scientist, and when you work on a couple of projects, you'll start realizing it. The data will start talking to you, right? And that is the best scenario you can get into. If data starts talking to you, you will be able to not only understand what is going to happen to my business, you will also be able to understand that how will it happen, right? And those are the two major chunks of problem statements which we'll be trying to solve by using analytics. There was a time a few years back, I would say a decade back, where people were saying and focusing a lot on descriptive algorithms, right? Doing data exploration, data manipulation, data reporting, all BI and ETL tools, whatever you can think of, Informatica, Cognos, ClickView, right? They are helping us to just analyze the historical data. But now we have moved on to use that historical data for better predictions, right? To understand what what will happen, to this particular case after 3 months or after 6 months, depending on the periodicity what you're looking for, correct? The other aspect is, a lot of people ask me, so look, I am working in different industry, I am working in different domain, I'm working for a banking client, I'm working for sports business, telecom, retail, e-commerce. Can I be a consumer of data science, right? Answer is yes, because the beauty of data science is it is domain agnostic. Where you have access to data, or if you're working with any sort of data, there is definitely a scope of applying data science to it, right? There are other aspects, are you a data scientist? What are the skills do you need? So depending on the domain experience, should my learning plan would be different from somebody who has, a different domain experience. So there are a few core things and fundamental things, which is true for most of the learnings, most of the technologies, which remain same, right? Like you need to have, uh, strong quantitative skills. You should be comfortable with numbers. If I'll throw you an Excel sheet with some 10, 20 columns, you should be able to give me some basic insights out of that, draw some charts, draw some patterns, easy to implement. Then you should have logical and analytical mind, because this is all about problem solving. If you are not able to question on the data, don't take data on the face value, at its face value. You need to understand what are the, you always question to your customer, always question the data, whether this information is making sense or not. Can I use any structured algorithm or process to validate whether this particular business insight, which may have come from a gut feeling or some intuition, is aligned to data or not, right? And obviously, to learn anything new, curiosity of knowledge and thirst for knowledge is good to have. Then we'll talk about So let's try to understand how can you do a shift, right? When I do talk about the shift, at this point of time, this may sound a very vague term because I am completely off to this technology. You may face this scenario that I am working in testing or I'm a project manager in in an IT company. I have never applied any data science techniques, or I have never handled any data science projects or teams. Will I be able to shift or not? Right? So after 10 minutes of the time, we'll be able to answer this particular aspect. But I would like to understand if anyone has any questions at this point of time. Any questions for me? Okay. So yeah, Rupa is asking, should I enroll for the data science course at Jigsaw? It will really not help. So Rupa, I will answer these kind of questions once we once we finish up the slides. So we'll have around 45 minutes of time or more than that to take up the career related questions. But anything with respect to slides which I have just covered. So yeah, you did ask a question. So if I understand correctly, just doing a data science course will not help. Yes, it will not. Only doing a data science course without applying any business skills, without applying any business knowledge will not help. But broadly, if you're working for, if you're working for last 4 years or 5 years in any industry, you will have some domain experience. What I'm trying to teach, what I'm trying to convey here, that you already have some relevant experience, how to make the most, how can you really use that particular skill and integrate data science technology methods or data science algorithms for a better role in the company. Okay, any other questions? How to transition without undergoing certification? So I will come to that, Shiva. Do you need a background in statistics? Not really. You don't need a heavy background in statistics, because we are not going to, in any data science, programs or in any data science learning, you really don't need to be a statistician, and that's why the name of a different role, right? Otherwise, I would have just simply called them as statisticians, right? So data scientists, they play very smartly. They learn enough statistics, or I can say applied statistics, which will help them to solve some of the problems in statistical modeling. That's all. Okay. Okay, so I can see some career related questions. I'll come to that in next 10-15 minutes. Now let's try to understand, how can you do that shift? Obviously, there are multiple tools and technologies, which are present in data science field. Some of the most popular tools in market are Python and SAS. Then you will see the big data full stack course, where we talk about Hadoop, Pig, Hive, Scoop, Flume, and Spark. There will be a component of data visualization, right? Because if you build any solution, any analytic solution, you cannot present the same solution to your customer or to your stakeholders. You need to have a very good story drafted out of it. You need to visualize that particular data in business outcomes. So that is very important to have it. Other than that, you'll end up showing a lot of technical output, which may not make a lot of sense to our stakeholders, right? Predictive analytics, I did mention about it in my last few slides. So this is going to be the next world. There was a question people were asking, should I take up analytics course or not? I think that question is irrelevant anymore, because it's not the decision about should I take it or not. Analytics is an essential skill for any professional, irrespective of the domain, irrespective of the industry or function you're working for. Now the question has moved on to the fact that what would be my approach, what would be my learning plan or learning path to pursue a career in analytics, right? Because given any company, you talk about e-commerce industry, you talk about telecom, IT, business, banking, financial institute, reinsurance business, everyone, everywhere, they have set of data scientists working for them. There is a definite team of center of COEs, analytics center of excellence teams. There are SWOT teams, there are distributed teams, who are building analytic solutions for their companies, right? Machine learning algorithms has become very popular recently. A lot of these organizations, especially there are mature markets like such as retail, which works on a lot of complex problems. They do have access to a lot of data. So sometimes when your problems become very complicated, you end up applying machine learning techniques. And when you're trying to solve 2-3 problems at the same time, then you need to apply machine learning techniques. So broadly, industries such as retail is a good example for machine learning algorithms. AI, AI was there. I remember it correctly some 15 years back also, right? But now, after machine learning came into picture and after the technology improvements and enhancements, AI has become a lot more significant. After cloud computing, storing the data, big data technologies, now AI has become a lot more relevant to a lot of these companies. Yesterday, I was reading an article from Elon Musk, that Tesla CEO, he was saying that because of AI, because AI enablement, can lead us to the World War III. So whosoever has the best AI platforms for their countries will become the ruler of the world, right? So AI is definitely picking up very fast. Application across industries, that's one important thing which you need to have. Your fundamental skills are not going to change. Either you learn linear regression or logistic regression or decision trees or classic, even any technique, these are the name of the few statistical and machine learning techniques. How do you apply in that particular industry will change, but not the algorithms, right? You will be able to, because you will be working on different sets of problems. For telecom, maybe, a customer churn problem may be a lot more important than building a recommendation engine, right? But for a, retailer or FMCG company, building a recommendation engine, it becomes more important or becomes more, significant, right? So the kind of problems what you'll be solving across industries may vary, but yeah, the core techniques will remain same. Applications used across management domains. So a lot number of times people ask this question to me that if I'm having around 10 years of experience, do you think after having 10 years of experience in IT or 12 years of experience in Java coding and all, will I be able to justify my past experience if I pursue a career in analytics, right? So you remember I was talking about shift. So I'm not trying to say that you shift only to analytics. With that experience and a strong, powerful analytics program or any analytics course certification under your belt, you can target leadership positions in analytics. So try to become a global analytics leader. You don't have to do a lot of detailed coding because you will get a team to do that. But what is more important, that how would you really analyze the results built by your data scientist? What are the set of inputs you are going to provide to your particular team, right? Or if you're working, if you're working as a developer, right? Now, obviously, you need to understand that if I learn this particular technique, if I work on this particular data, what is the right analytics model should I approach for? So learning can happen both ways. You can target the technology part of it. You can target the hardcore data analytics part of it. You can also target to set up COEs. You can become a global analytics leader or chief analytics officer. So we do have a lot of success stories which I'll share with you later on, where I talk about that how a chief architect can become a chief analytics officer, right? How a project manager can become a global analytics leader in their organizations. right? So there is definitely a lot of scope for a bunch of data scientists or for a bunch of developers, and definitely there's an equal scope for people with around 10 years and 12 years of experience in any given particular domain, right? So I did mention about this. I think I've covered this slide very well, where I talked about what are the set of problems you can work on in different domains. As I mentioned earlier, analytics can be applied in any domain. Some of the examples in telecom can be simple customer churn analysis, customer segmentation, identifying the right bundle packaging for them. And I'm sure after a geo disruption, you would have realized that the other telecom providers have become a lot more attentive, and they're analyzing the users pattern and behavior on a daily basis and recommending different packages to them, right? In retail industry, there are endless examples. I can talk for 2 hours on this, because right from store planning till the customer delivery or supply chain management, or even retaining a customer, they are using analytics at every step, right? Either it's Walmart or Tesco or Target, or any company, in India also you can think of multiple companies. They are using analytics big time, even to place a particular product within the store, right? Even to understand that what would be a buying pattern of a customer, even to understand that the trajectory of a customer within the store, right? So there are in-store promotions, there are real-time offers, to understand a CLTV, all of that, are essentially the output of data science algorithms. Banking and insurance, I think one of the most mature markets, either starting from credit card to a loan application to a fraud analytics or risk analytics. You can again think of n number of examples, right? You may see that a lot of whenever you apply for a credit card or a loan application, they do ask around 10 or 100 inputs out of it. What do they do with that information? So they have created an analytics algorithm or engine, and the data what they ask for goes as an input to that engine, and they will be able to anticipate whether can I give loan to a customer or not. Obviously, there are other ratings, CIBIL scores, and are there in place, but they also use different other techniques to understand the financial condition of a customer, the buying, the payback patterns of a customer, all of that, right? E-commerce industry, we are very familiar with recent big $1 billion day sale. We are very familiar with Amazon's Great India Festival sale, right? How do you really think that so many people are buying it at the same time? They are still able to address that demand. So they have built a very strong demand planning algorithm. Otherwise, with that particular volume, their website will not sustain. It will crash, right? And also the products will be out of inventory, right? So they have ensured that. So they have forecasted the demand, and basis on that, they have ensured that enough number of products are there in my inventory. The distribution channel is awesome. So a lot of people who have ordered their products during these promotional campaigns would have received the product or got it delivered during the campaign itself. So within 2 days, 3 days, so I did some shopping there, and I think all of the products what I ordered are already delivered to me. So distribution channel is very important to identify the nearest warehouse, to understand the lead time, what would be the transportation mode, cost optimization. Again, because they have to build a very strong supply chain model. They have to build a very good recommendation engine. What kind of promotions can I run on this particular product to attract more number of customers, right? All of that, again, are the output of an analytics algorithm, right? Again, in all of these companies, you will find these 4 functions: marketing, HR, finance, and supply chain. So I was talking about supply chain. I did mention something about finance. What about HRs, right? So they work on employee retention, they work on employee attrition rate, employee compensation and benefit plans. All of that are again outputs of data analytics algorithm. Because when you're working, so if you take a step back, also the point what I'm trying to make, solving any problem using maybe 10 records or 20 records may not be a challenge. If I'll build you a model on 20 data records, I think you won't really get fascinated and you won't be super excited with that. But think about the challenge is the volume. The kind of data, what are we generating, and the volume of data, what are we generating. If I am able to build a robust model on that particular on that particular data, right? And we are not talking any more about transactional data. We are generating hell number of data with different varieties. You talk about text data, you talk about census data, you talk about session logs data. All of these are data. All of these data are data analyzed, and people, data scientists are able to recommend some actions. Maybe in identifying an error in the session log algorithm, right? It may impact. So recently, if you heard of this situation, that Airtel lost some 80 crores or 90 crores when their servers failed for few hours, right? They would have saved, or would have reduced that loss if they have anticipated that the server is going to fail, because it is a chain of action which happens. It's not a one-time activity, or it's the source may be anywhere, but it leads to other sequences, right? So applying, again, using data science algorithms will be able to help you to come to a conclusion that my server is going to fail with maybe 80% of accuracy or 70% of the accuracy, depending on what model you're using. Marketing, two big problems. I'll just touch base on those two problems. Understanding customer acquisition, understanding customer retention. Both these problems are equally important for marketing teams. Digital marketing campaigns, they are running Google Analytics, running digital, lead generation, comparing the source of the lead, quality, and all of that. All of these are outputs of again data science algorithms. Now let me talk about how can you really be a part of the system, right? How can you really be a part of this particular journey? So I am going to talk about a program which has been designed jointly between STA Bocconi, Italy, Milan, and Jigsaw Academy, right? Let me, the purpose of this particular slide to answer this question, that why should you move, right? The first point is evident. Analytics is growing and it is the future. I think all of us should agree with this point. Faster growth and better opportunities, not only in terms of salary opportunities. Salary is really fascinating, because I've seen people making hell of money in data science, but a very good work-life balance when you go ahead in your career. When maybe for some of you guys, money may not be the only driving factor. You may expect a better work-life balance. So I was, going through an article which says that the data science work-life balance is as good as as the life of a lifeguard, right? So that kind of work-life balance I'm talking about. So because it involves a lot of smart work. It definitely involves some hard work, but there's a lot of smart work involved into it. So that makes it easier, from the work-life balance perspective. How can you make this transition? This is one thing which is very important to know, because you need to have a perfect bridge between your current profile or your current experience and the desired outcomes and the desired profile you're looking for. So the program has not been designed to understand only the key skills, right, or the key topics, what is needed by the market, right? And what are the key skills of a data scientist or a project manager in data science or a global analytics leader, right? Those key skills are the modules for this particular program. So we are not talking about any theoretical knowledge here. We are talking about hands-on experience. You will work with industry experts. You will work with faculties from STA Bocconi. You will work with academicians from Jigsaw Academy, and they are industry practitioners. They come with more than 20 years of experience, and there are people who have more than 25 years of experience in that industry, right? And then learn analytics and big data both. This is one unique program. You can go back and check anywhere. There are multiple programs for analytics. There may be multiple programs for big data. I haven't come across any single program which offers analytics and big data, and also gives you project management skills in analytics, right? Because when I talk about people with with like 8 year and 10 plus years of experience, maybe coding may not be your cup of tea. You don't want to really do coding. So exactly, you need to chart out your own plan. So this course will allow you to be flexible enough to draft, to actually stitch your own particular plan, and we will work with you on a regular basis. Our faculty support team and all of that will work with you to ensure that whatever you defined before you started this course, it is actually met or not, right? So there will be regular frequent feedbacks, all of that would be there to ensure if there is any course correction needs to be done, right? Learn to use analytics for data driven management. I'm not talking about building an algorithm and forget about it, right? How many times we have built maybe in our initial days of career, we have built Java codes, and I really don't know whether it was being deployed anywhere or not, whether it was there in production or not, or it is just they're playing with us, right? What I'm talking about, using these particular skills and take this to a step where businesses are going to apply and apply and implement, right? So real life so I think the hands-on experience on real life examples is going to be very important. You should be working on different problem statements across different domains, across different verticals, to get a flavor of analytics in different business areas, right? So that's how you can make this transition, and there are electives and all of that is there, which we'll discuss it later. The other aspect is what would be the delivery model, right? So it's a 10-month program, guys, pretty simple. 189 hours of contact sessions at MISB Bocconi campus based out in Bombay. 60 hours of live instructor-led classes by Jigsaw Academy experts and Bocconi faculties. 2.5 hour sessions would be the duration of each session. 300 plus hours of pre-recorded lectures for a period of 2 years, right? So whenever you are not attending in-person sessions, you are not attending online sessions, you need to go through these videos to ensure that your course concepts are clear, because I would like to, we would like to make sure that whenever you come to class, you actually work on the case studies. So it would be a more of workshop model. Conceptual parts would be covered in on live online classes and on pre-recorded lectures. Okay. Okay, interesting. So I did talk about these things, right? What are the roles? Now I think I don't have to explain this slide. This is self-explanatory, right? Look, what are the positions I'm going to talk about? I did mention a success story where where we are going to from a chief architect you can become a chief analytics officer. So we have a very good article on that. We will share with you maybe after the session or during the session once we complete the slides. Other part is data scientist, which I have mentioned it in my previous slides. Manager analytics, one of the project managers, who works with different teams to understand the requirement and build a solution map and a solution architecture for the problem statements. Engagement manager, this is an important role. I have worked in this particular role for a couple of years when I was working with Walmart. So this role is very critical because you will work with business team and technology team. You will actually work with both of these teams to solve a particular project, right? Or to work on any analytics project. The job of analytics manager is not only to understand the business requirement, but also to take up these business insights or business problems to technology team, so that they can go back and talk about the viability of the solution, right? So that's how engagement manager role is very important. They know both the technology part and the functional part. It's more of a techno-functional role, which allows them to take up and pursue realistic projects, and also should be able to sell obviously relevant projects or relevant statements. Other role is global analytics leader. This is a very senior role. People with 10 plus years of experience can definitely target to that. How to set up the teams, how if I'm developing a center of excellence scheme in my organization, can I, can I pursue that role? Obviously, you have 10 years of experience. If you take, course for EPBA program, then that door is definitely open for you. You can showcase that, and since there is an international certification, the beauty of this program is also that you will get an international exposure because faculties are traveling down from Europe to India to take up the classes. So you will not only learn things locally, that you'll also get that these things are also valid across the globe, right? And also, the other part is that you will be project ready after the program. You really don't have to worry about that. How can I now use these skills to work on a project? So we will be doing a capstone project. Capstone project is very important, I think, for every individual, irrespective of where you come from, data science background or not. If you're pursuing this EPBA course, capstone project is going to be your best friend because this will not only help you to understand the problem statement, but how to really solve it. What are the different steps involved in analytics life cycle? What are the 10 steps which I need to go through to solve and derive the business outcomes, right? So global analytics leader, they do work with these kind of roles. Practice head similarly, they head the different practice, retail or maybe telecom, whatever it is. Marketing analytics manager, I did mention about the role of marketing, role of analytics in marketing. So there are different cuts there, and you can do different slicing and dicing across the data to figure out the campaign effectiveness, lead quality source, right channel to promote your product, to acquire new customers, target audience, any number of examples, right? What kind of profile do we have in the class? So broadly, this is the experience profile. Average experience, would be 10 plus. So broadly, you'll see that between 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, and 21 to 25. There are enough number of people. Most of these people, 63% in IT-enabled services, right? Where you see companies. So these are a set of companies, alumni who have already passed out in last three batches. IBM, Deutsche Bank, Polaris, SAP, HCL, Renault, CA Technologies. So it's a very good combination of two things. It's not only IT, there are non-IT skills also. Right, there are non-IT people also who pursue this particular program. Quality of the project. So I was mentioning about the Capstone project. So we work with different customers, with different companies, and we put a lot of effort to design these Capstone projects, right? So we also want you to take it very seriously. It's not about you only complete the program. You need to have again a real life hands-on experience, and Capstone project will enable you to achieve that, right? It will give you a lot more confidence when you apply for a data science role or when you apply for any leadership position also in analytics, right? A great great pool of faculties. So we have a lot of industry interaction. All of these experts will be coming down to take up the classes. So you will definitely get two things. One, learn the most updated skill in the market. Two, you can definitely do networking here because since you are talking to these industry experts and the classroom also, you will find a lot of senior people, sitting up at a mid-level or a senior level management position. So it's a good platform also to build networks because I think that's something remains there for the life, right? When you build good people, when you build good network, you can so getting a job would become very easy, and also to get yourself updated in the market, becomes easier. Another aspect is university affiliation. Talking about the ranking, this has been ranked number 3rd in Europe, one of the best universities in Europe. Alumni access, you will get alumni access to Bocconi alumni access, international faculty, global exposure, understanding the bigger picture, right? There is an optional 1 week Italy visit, right? So you can also visit to to the original campus in Bocconi, based out of Italy, Milan. So there will be 1 week optional visit there, depending on if you're interested to that. The other aspect is, obviously institute email ID. You will get the email ID from Bocconi. So That's all. Again, the admissions are going on. The last date for to submit the application would be 9th of October. We are currently the process to to enroll for this particular program, that you need to go for a application process. Then once your application is shortlisted, you will have to go 2 rounds of interviews, and once you have cleared both the interviews, we'll be rolling out an offer. The course starts on 3rd November, guys. And the regular fees is just 6.4 lakhs plus GST, makes it around 7.5 lakh course. Also, there are some discounts going on for early enrollments, and depending on your current on your interviews, if you perform well, we can look for scholarships, and obviously education loans are also available. So now let me take up the questions. So I'm pretty much done. For any other course related stuff, you can also reach out to this number, and you can email us at dbb@jigsawacademy.com. But now we are open for questions, guys. Let me see. Okay, let me share one link. So I was talking about a couple of links. I will share one link with you on this article, which talks about an article. I hope all of you got it. Now let me take up the questions from start. Okay. What is the difference between predictive and machine learning? This is a question from Manoj Arya. So, predictive analytics can be divided into two parts, right? So, there are two components to it. Machine learning is one of the algorithms where you build algorithms without using statistical methods. So, you are not working on statistical techniques. You are training the machine to generate insights. So, that's the part of machine learning algorithm. The other part is statistical algorithm, where you use statistical methods to derive insights. So basically, you deal with equations and you deal with different parameters in statistics, which will help you to get the business insight. How analytics is relevant to AI? This is a question from Shiva. Oh yeah, it is. I think I did mention about introduction to AI, and it has become a lot more significant in analytics. Now think about IoT devices. If you think about any device what you use, from a gadget, from a watch, from a mobile phone, or to any your laptop machines or your tab, right? All of these data, especially when you work for supply chain companies and e-commerce companies, they use a lot of AI methods for efficiency improvement, for better data, for better predictions, right? So AI will not. AI is more of a technology part of it. You use data science approach to generate insights, right? So it is very much connected, and it is very much relevant to AI. Okay, what are the next questions? So if I enroll for the data science course, so I think let me take up some questions from Rupa. We also need to. So Rupa Prabhakar, you were asking that just doing a data. So I think I have answered this question. Only the data science course. Obviously, you need to have some business background. You need to have some domain experience. Yes, yes, you're right. So Shiva is asking how to transition without without undergoing certification. Can I make use of YouTube? Of course, learning. There's no stopping of learning. You can learn it from anywhere. What I'm talking about, taking it more seriously. If you take up a professional approach, so Shiva, I would like to understand your experience. If you take up a professional approach, take up an international certification, work with people who have already, who have around 10 years of experience in the same industry, versus learning something free of cost, from different channels. You can understand the impact. I'm not talking about academic skills, again, theoretical skills. I'm talking about real life skills. I'm talking about hands-on experience. All of that can only come from a professional certification, such as the EPA Bocconi programs, right? Do you need a background? I have answered this question, Rupa. Satish Kumar, I'm a fresher. How can I start as this? So I think this program is not targeted for freshers, but I would like to know more about your experience, Satish. But just by looking at this question, I would not, I definitely, we need to have a separate call to discuss again. But broadly, this is not targeted for freshers. This program is meant for people with 5 years and 5+ years of experience. Only knowledge and experience of business analytics will help, no tech experience. So I didn't understand your question, Hemant. So are you saying only business experience will definitely not help, as otherwise you'll become an SME, right? What I'm saying, if you want to become a data scientist, you need to have a very good balance between your domain experience and machine learning and data science algorithms. Vikas is asking, I'm newly learning data science, but I've been working in oil and gas for the last 4 years. But those data is never handled over us due to confidentiality issues. So how do I practice data science and how can I use my domain experience? Excellent question, Vikas. I think this is a great point to have it. What happens when you don't really see a picture going ahead? I work for an oil and gas, very, very niche sector. So I'll give you one example. We are training close to around 150 people in GAIL. They work in oil and gas industries, but we are training their marketing team, their production team, their OEM teams like that, right? So definitely they want to use analytics not for better reporting, but also for better forecasting. If they have to do a simple volume forecast, can they build a simple, maybe a simple time series model or a regression model? If they have to do the bundling of the customers, or doing the customer segmentation, identifying high value customers, right? All they are using that to analytics to solve these kind of problems. The one question which is very, very tricky to solve when it comes for price of the crude oil, right? So there are a lot of factors dependent on that. So you can really not solve that problem, but you can get into a directional approach whether it is going upwards or downwards. So data science can tell you at least that aspect. So Anuj is asking, when you say domain experience and knowledge is essential, domain here analytics or relevant business to which we are aligned. It's actually the business skills. It is actually the business experience, and that only comes obviously with the work experience. What I'm talking about, if you'll couple that with analytics skills, that is going to be a super hit. I think skill set, right? Because you understand the business part of it, you can now also work with data, you can speak to data to understand some of the hidden insights and some of the actionable insights. What is the difference between, I have answered this question, Manoj, how analytics is relevant to AI. I have answered this question. So Rupa is asking, I'm a BI senior manager, Cognos, ClickSense, CTC, and I have around 14 and 15 years of experience. Will this program really help me in getting at this stage of my career? Of course, if you are already working in reporting, and with that level of experience, you can target a role such as like a global analytics leader or practice head. Since you already have a lot of reporting experience, you get some of the data science skills, you learn project management skills, learn a bit of big data, learn how to use a machine learning approach to solve some of the problems. Combined together, definitely it is going to help you big time in your career. Okay, I've answered this. Is it only classroom program? So I did mention this, Manoj. It's a combination of 3 aspects. It's a combination of online, classroom, and pre-recorded lectures. So you will have around 189 hours of in-person session, 60+ hours of online instructor-led session, and 300+ hours of pre-recorded lectures. Is it only in Powai or any other location? So Anuj, currently the MISB campus is only in Bombay, Powai. So all the contact sessions will happen in Powai. But just in case if you are not able to attend some of the classes, all the classes are also recorded. But I would definitely recommend people to go ahead and meet these nice people and meet these industry experts to get more knowledge and expertise. How will analytics help in recruitment and staffing industry? So Akshit, I did mention about this, identifying the right talent, identifying the key skills, what you need to have in the, in your organization, working with the right set of people. All of that will help you to solve solve a lot of problems in your particular industry. Shiva is asking, I'm struggling to learn statistics. My background is into IT programming. Would it be okay if I step into machine learning and big data analytics without touching upon statistics? So don't worry, Shiva. As I mentioned earlier, he will not be bombarding you with statistics, right? The focus is not to torture people with a lot of academic statistics. The focus is to learn enough so that you can understand and appreciate some of the parameters which are generated as an output in statistical modeling. But it will not be a very it will not be a program heavily focused on statistics. It will be a program heavily focused on learning and acquiring skills in data science and machine learning and big data. Nishant is asking, I have around 12.5 years of experience in oil and gas, EPC sector, and design engineering. So I have covered one question related to the same industry, Nishant. Anuj is asking, I have around 10 years of experience in business excellence. Do you suggest this transition at this stage of my career will be appropriate, and how will this technical domain seem? Yes, so obviously I will also need to know, Anuj, that what kind of projects you have worked for, then I'll be able to answer it better. But with your experience and obviously a black belt Sigma certification, you can definitely target IT project manager, analytics project managers or delivery managers in analytics roles. So I think that would be the right fit. But I need to know a little more about your profile. Nishant is asking, how can analytics help me to transition my career in the same domain? Of course, I won't recommend anybody to change both the field, both the domain and the and the skills, right? So if you are using it in oil and gas, I have mentioned some of the case studies. Since we are also working with GAIL and training their around 150 employees, we have got that level of we understood some of the key problem statements, and I did talk about this. One can be working for the marketing field in oil and gas sector, identifying the right customers, high buying customers or high valued customers. The problems can vary from production planning, right, to supply chain models. So there are multiple aspects to it, and you can use those skills to apply in those areas. Shiva is asking how to come up with use cases to apply the analytics techniques on our existing profile. Okay, so Shiva, that's where the elective piece will come into picture. You need to select the right capstone project, right? So as I mentioned, there will be a capstone project relevant to to a lot of domains. So you can use and you can actually choose the right capstone project which is more relevant to your business. I think selection of capstone project is going to play an important role here. So we'll also help you to to prepare for that and to shortlist the right project. I think that should be sufficient to apply these examples in real life scenarios. So to get a job in analytics field, do I need to show some experience related to analytics in terms of analytics project? Oh yes, you need to. So that's where the Capstone project will come into picture, and you need to also work on your domain experience. Try to extract as much as data savvy, inputs or data savvy experience, and will help you also to work with your resume to make it more attractive and relevant for the companies. Rupa is asking, will this fit in your work commitments? The on-site Mumbai might clash with our work travel dates. Do you advise taking a break? I don't at all. This program is designed for working professionals. The classes will happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it will happen only on weekends. You just need to take a day off, 1 day off, and total of around 7 days off in a 10-month period time. So should not be a challenge. We have people coming from Delhi, we have people coming from Chennai, there are people from Bombay and Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So I don't see as a problem. And plus, we are talking about building a very core skill and important skill which will prove as a career shift for you. So I think that is, I think those 7 days off in a period of 10 months would be worth for you to explore this option. Paris is asking, a business consultant with 12 years of experience across multiple domains. So how will this program help me in transitioning into analytics field and in what role? So if you're a business consultant, I would definitely, and with 12 years of experience, I would definitely recommend either you target engagement manager roles or you target, practice head roles, right? So if you can head a particular practice with that experience and acquiring an analytics skill, so you can look for these particular roles, but obviously there are other roles also. You can look for, as I said, global analytics leader or maybe a data scientist role. So business consultant, I think it's a good mix of understanding the business, working with data, understanding the right set of requirements, designing the requirement specifications, building the roadmap for a project. I think all of these experience will come handy for us whenever you when you work on the Capstone project and any previous program. Rupa, as I've seen some people taking the IM course to take a break from work, considering the high fee, you want to ensure that you do full justice to the course. Of course, that's something we have figured it out. The course is actually designed in such a way that after this course, as I said earlier, you will be project ready. You can eye a much bigger role in your organization, or you can do a switch in a different organization. And we have done this program. We have already rolled out 3 batches in the past, and we have received a very good appreciation. We will share some of the success stories with you. There are different sets of profiles with different experience, with very diverse background and all, and they have been able to extract benefits out of this program. So I have answered this question, Nishant. Okay, so your question is, you completed executive post-graduation in management. Can I make a career shift in finance sector after the course? If yes, what are I going to do along with that? Again, Capstone Project, you can definitely take a Capstone Project in finance. We do have a credit card problem statement. We do have a banking problem statement. You can look into those problem statements to start with. That is definitely going to help. And since you already have done your executive post-graduation in management, you will also be eyeing to target a senior level position in analytics organizations. How is this course different from Great Lakes and ISB courses focused on business? I was expecting this question and I got it at last. So if I have to tell you 3 things, one is the international exposure, right? What you get, you will work with faculties from Bocconi. The other case would be 1 week visit to Italy, where you can interact with a lot of students there. You will build a very strong network. That's the third. You will build a very strong alumni network and also within the class, right? And that's what differentiates this particular program from Great Lakes and ISP. From a content point of view, I would say there's no match because the program is very comprehensive. We have put a lot of focus on analytics and also on big data and on project management skills and on having the right domain experience, right? If you're working for a telecom, you can actually go ahead and build a career in telecom analytics. The Capstone project will allow you to to pursue a career in the field of telecom. Similarly, it holds true for banking or finance or insurance or retail or e-commerce, right? So yeah, it is different from these 2 programs. The 1 week visit to Italy is inclusive of the fee. There will be a nominal fee, depending on what flight you take, but broadly it will come around 1.5 lakh for 1 week, which will include your flight, travels, and stay. For the Italy visit, but that's something not mandatory for everyone. If you really want to visit the college, you can look for that. Okay, great. I think we don't have any other questions at this point of time. Is there anything else you guys want to ask? So there's one point which I would like to address since nobody has asked this particular question. How so when we talk about shifting careers, right? How it is going to help when you are coming from a non-programming, totally non-technical background, right? Maybe coming from a testing background, an automation testing guy, right, with 10 years of experience working as a testing manager or the test head of testing teams. Will I be able to learn analytics and use this as an option or as an advantage to target a senior role, right? you know yes, you can, but you may have to think about that, what do you really want out of this particular course, right? If you design your learning path well before you start the program, we will help you to design the whole learning path in such a way that at the end of the program your goals and objectives are met, right? One you can look for as a role of business consultant, or maybe as a role of global analytics leader, right? Because with that 10 or 12 years of experience, you have analyzed and worked on different use cases. You have seen multiple instances, or maybe data sanity checks, right? But how to make that project bigger? If I'm working on that set of a problem, right? If I have to build a solution architecture for a particular project, if I have to build a solution map for my customer, will it be a technical model? No, it will not be a technical model. It will be a flowchart where I talk about data input, we talk about the engine, what is embedded in the algorithm, and then we talk about the data visualization paths, that what are the, how do I use these technical outputs to generate business outcomes, and then you can do a very good storytelling for your customer. So that role is particularly very non-technical in nature, but it's actually very powerful and rare because not many people have that kind of a skill, right? And in fact, the data visualization and storytelling is altogether different world. Not many people are again there, with that experience and that expertise, right? Any other questions, guys? Okay, I can see a few more. If I want to become marketing analytics, can I focus on learning marketing and marketing analytics only instead of learning HR, operations, supply chain, finance, etc.? Yes, you can. So again, as I said earlier, you need to chart out the learning outcomes well before the program starts, and will help you how can you really achieve those goals. And you can look for very relevant case studies in marketing. You can also look for, because skills such as big data, machine learning, and AI and all of that will still be applicable for marketing analytics. But you can definitely work on some key marketing problems and build a competency there. Anand is asking, can I get a detailed syllabus of the course? Of course, yes. It's also available in our website, www.jigsawacademy.com. I think it would have been shared by somebody from my team. But yes, it is available in our website, a much more detailed outline along with the case study details. Shiva is asking, can you brief us on deep learning versus machine learning? Okay, so yes, when you talk about AI, neural networks, when you go down that line, it becomes deep learning, right? When you use algorithms, I think neural networks is one algorithm which is called as a part of deep learning. Machine learning, there are multiple algorithms, right? Machine learning focuses more on understanding the problem and building a solution to it. Deep learning is a very good combination of using technology, extracting data from the cloud, and then building real-time solutions, right? So that is what deep learning can help you to achieve. Okay, guys, I think I'll wait for a couple of minutes more to if you have any questions. But yeah, you can anyways call on to this particular number if you if you want to take it offline. Email ID is there. I'll also mention it again for you guys. It is epba@jigsawacademy.com. Okay, great. It was nice speaking to all of you. Feel free to drop us an email and call back on this number. We are happy to address all the questions. Have a very good day, guys. Thank you.